The 12 universal laws are a set of principles governing the cosmos, and they're quite different from religious commandments like the 10 Commandments. With the universal laws, you're bound by them no matter what, because of the way reality works. In contrast, you aren't inherently obligated to follow religious commandments. Some may find this idea offensive, especially those who see the 10 Commandments as sacred and unbreakable. But let's be real. People ignore or break them all the time. Murder happens, people lie, cheat, and steal, and still the world moves on, because deep down we're all born with an understanding of right and wrong. We know that harming others is wrong, lying, cheating, it's all innately understood as harmful. But we've been led to believe that morality is something external, something we need a higher authority to define for us. Religions tell us that the true source of all that is, or God, is within us. They say, you are the temple. But then we're taught that we're inherently flawed, born into sin, and need saving. We look outward, searching for something that's already inside. Even baptism, a ritual to cleanse us in water, symbolizes something that's already happened. We're born from the womb, already baptized in water. The first of the universal laws, the law of divine oneness, tells us that everything is connected. There's no separation. Everything we experience is just different manifestations of the same source. Even religious texts hint at this concept, emphasizing that God is one. The 10 Commandments, on the other hand, begin with a command to worship only one God. While the commandment demands exclusivity and devotion, the law of divine oneness is about recognizing that everything, including ourselves, is part of the same divine essence. It's less about devotion to an external entity and more about understanding unity. The law of vibration tells us that everything, from thoughts to physical objects, vibrates at a certain frequency. This means that our thoughts and emotions shape our reality. By contrast, the commandments give direct instructions on behavior like, "You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain," which focuses on regulating speech rather than understanding its vibrational power. The law of vibration suggests that our words and thoughts have deeper energetic impacts beyond simply following rules. The law of cause and effect states that every action has a consequence. Our thoughts are the cause, and our experiences are the effect. This is similar to the idea behind the commandments like, "You shall not murder," and "You shall not bear false witness." These commandments imply that wrongful actions lead to negative consequences, but they don't necessarily explore into the deeper understanding that even our thoughts can initiate a chain of effects. The universal law encourages us to recognize that our internal world, our thoughts and intentions, are just as powerful in creating outcomes as our actions. The law of attraction tells us that like attracts like. You attract what resonates with your internal energy. This is quite different from the commandments such as, "You shall not steal," or "You shall not commit adultery." These are rules meant to guide moral conduct, but the law of attraction is about understanding that your internal state determines the kind of experiences you draw into your life. The law of polarity reminds us that opposites exist in everything, light and dark, love and fear. This is different from the absolute nature of the commandments, which clearly dictate what to do and what not to do. The law of polarity shows that everything in life has its opposite, and both are necessary for balance and growth. While the commandments focus on moral absolutes, the law of polarity encourages us to embrace both sides of every situation to fully understand it. Lastly, the law of gender tells us that masculine and feminine energies must come together for life to flourish. This isn't about societal constructs of femininity and masculinity, but about balance. The 10 Commandments don't address gender directly, but religious interpretations have often imposed rigid gender roles. The law of gender, however, speaks to the necessity of both energies, masculine and feminine, within each of us for true harmony and fulfillment. Now here's the twist. Those who control our world understand these laws. They know that by revealing the truth, even in subtle, hidden ways, they escape the consequences of hiding it. This is why truths are scattered in movies, music, books, even in religious texts. They believe that by putting it in plain sight, they avoid the law of compensation or karma, thinking it frees them from responsibility. But here's the irony. By assuming they can bypass the laws, they forget that the laws apply to everyone. I'm not saying the Ten Commandments are not okay, since they are fundamentally good. What I'm saying is that the universal laws have the same importance, maybe even more, due to their intrinsic nature with our existence. This is why we spend a lot of time and energy creating content that explores and explains the universal laws, hoping that people will understand their importance and start applying them. We will continue to do so and offer as many tools as we can to help our community to harness the immense benefits of applying the universal laws. Understanding these universal laws puts you in control. Once you realize your power, you stop looking outward for guidance. You already have everything you need within you. They can try to keep these truths hidden, but the universal laws apply to us all. And in the end, we each hold the power to shape our reality.